Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Universe Mode on the JPG channel. And of course, we are here on Monday Night Raw, directly following an explosive backlash.
The following contest is a triple threat.
And we are starting things off in a big way, folks. Our next pay-per-view in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The Night of Champions, of course, every championship on the line in one single night. And with that being said, that means it is the perfect night to bring back the Women's Tag Team Championships. We've been talking about it for a number of weeks. We've been showcasing the Women's Tag Team ever since the start after WrestleMania. And the competition begins here tonight on this episode of Monday Night Raw and next week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Triple threat tornado tags will take place. The winners of those two matches will head to Jeddah, and one of those teams of women will be crowned the new women's tag team champions in Saudi Arabia. A very exciting time for women's wrestling on a completely different level. You know, getting the much deserved respect and attention that it deserves, or I mean that it not only that it needed, but also deserves, as the unholy union, that being Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, two brand new additions to Monday Night Raw, getting ready to take on the team of Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, which I'm told are now calling themselves The Way, a nod, a callback to their old team with Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory down in NXT. And we've seen where all four of their careers have driven to them all to the main roster and found some sort of success in some shape, way, or form. Candice LeRae taking Indy Hartwell under her wing back in those NXT days. Indy blossomed to be a pretty exceptional singles competitor at NXT herself, with not only, of course, securing the NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, with Candice LeRae, but also going on to win the NXT Women's Championship as well during her time in NXT. And now these women look to do it again, only this time with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships in mind, and a long-houred flight to Saudi Arabia is what awaits one of these teams. Our third team have been the impressing duo of Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, knocking off former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, sending Chelsea Green back into SmackDown. Piper Niven has remained here on Monday nights as of the draft. But if you ask me if there's a favorite in this match, it has to be Team 2001, Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, just with the momentum that they have been building the last few weeks. They're got to be the odds-on favorites to win this match. Maybe even the odds-on favorites to win the entire thing, you know, become the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. We'll have to find out who, you know, whether they win tonight or not. We'll have to find out the winner of this match's opponents next week in another triple threat tornado tag match. Monday Night Raw has a plethora of women's tag teams that we're excited to showcase for you as we await the arrival of Cora Jade. I mean, if there's anything that separates Jade and Roxanne Perez, let alone their toxic history with one another, these are the two women that actually did not come out together, if you notice that. I mean, Candice and Indy came out the same entrance. The Unholy Union came out together in union, of course. But no, Jade and Roxanne Perez still kind of doing their own thing for a bit. You have to wonder whether there's 100%, trust, 100% forgiveness in a way from what Cora Jade did to Roxanne Perez back in NXT. You always have to wonder if that's lingering in the mind of Roxanne Perez or not. Can she indeed trust a woman she thought that she could depend on at one point? And here we go, folks. 6 women in the ring at all time during the match. 1 pinfall ends this match. Roxanne Perez and Alba Fire going against each other. As look at this, a pinfall attempt from Cora Jade. Now a pinfall attempt from Roxanne Perez. Clearly these two not getting paid by the hour, but hey, they want to preserve their energy for the actual women's tag team match in Saudi Arabia. As now Candice LeRae going after Roxanne Perez. Looks like there's a kendo stick involved. Cora Jade, the the resident outlaw here in Monday Night Raw, just a complete complete rule breaker in a way, breaking out. I mean, it's not exactly breaking the rules, considering that this is, you know, triple threat, fatal 4-way, whatever you may be rules, which means there's no disqualifications. But look at this, Roxanne Perez taking out Indy Hartwell. Look at this, only person standing in the ring, but only gets a 1 count. Huge drop kick from Alba Fire now. As now Roxanne Perez gets kicked in the back of the head with a flying Alba Fire out of nowhere. And like I said, it's a very exciting time for women's wrestling, folks. Perhaps the hottest that has ever been. We have so much talent to showcase, not only on Monday nights, but of course on Friday nights as well. I mean, what an incredible match we saw at Backlash between the WWE Women's Champion Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton. Look at this, Roxanne Perez, huge crossbody. Not enough to get the job done. Lynch will be back in action next week on Monday Night Raw. She's actually going to take the night off this time around and let the women's tag teams showcase their abilities in the ring, as is Tiffany Stratton, not here tonight as well. As look at this, a huge springboard out of the corner of my eye. Excuse me, I should be more enthusiastic about that. But a springboard DDT from out of nowhere at the hands of Candice LeRae. And now Roxanne Perez trying to decide where she wants to, you know, take action. Oh my goodness, I think she was going for Isla Dawn, but Dawn, wise beyond her years, able to get out of harm's way. This is getting ugly before it gets any pretty. There's like 3 or 4 kendo sticks involved. Remember what hangs at stake, folks. A chance at the end. Oh my goodness, a chance at the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships is what's at hand. And like I said, Perez and Jade have to be the favorites heading into this match, just based off of, you know, the fact that they already have a winning record to start Universe mode. But do not count out either one of these two teams either, that being the Way and the Unholy Union. They can get the job done just as well. As now Cora Jade throws Alba Fire into the ring. You know, Indy and Candice are putting a beat down on Roxanne Perez, but they're going to want to focus their attention. Look at this, Indy Hartwell. Oh my God, spiking DDT, and Candice LeRae just back body drop Cora Jade on the outside. And look at this springboard forearm from Alba Fire. Alba Fire, a very impressive superstar here. The longest reigning NXT Women's Champion of all time. The longest reigning Women's Champion of all time, as a matter of fact. And now look at this. Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez trying to get back into this thing. And now Roxanne Perez, tilt-a-whirl, takes out Isla Dawn. And wait a minute, caught Dawn lacking, sit out DDT. Just planted Isla Dawn's face into the mat. That could be it, but Alba Fire saves the match for her team. Indy Hartwell was going for a double arm chicken wing something, I don't know, but Roxanne Perez, or should I say, Cora Jade with double arm DDT. Again, Alba Fire keeping that match alive. As I said, this is one fall to a finish, folks. And now, wait a minute, missed to the eyes, and a swanton bomb from Alba Fire to Indy Hartwell, double pins. Could that be it? 2. No, Jade gets the kick out. Oh, that's it. Alba Fire pins Indy Hartwell. The Unholy Union are going to Saudi Arabia. That was tremendous tag team tandem from those two. A miss right into the eyes, which technically is legal in a triple threat scenario. And then Alba Fire hitting that swanton bomb on Indy Hartwell. Roxanne Perez could not get back up to her feet in enough time to stop the pin. The Unholy Union have just clenched a spot to Saudi Arabia, have just came one step closer to becoming the inaugural, at least inaugural in this universe mode, women's tag team champions. Who awaits them is the question. 3 more teams going to do battle next week as to find out who awaits the unholy union. But man, if they look as impressive as they did today, you might be looking at your next women's tag team champions, folks. Coming up next, the recently drafted United States champion LA Knight is in the building. Or I'm sorry, United States champion. I'm still thinking the United States title is on Monday Night Raw. The Intercontinental champion LA Knight is in the building, and it's Knight's game, and now it is Monday Night's game, because Monday Night has acquired the megastar himself, and he's in the building with the Intercontinental title strapped around his waist still after defeating the Bloodline Solo Sikoa in quite impressive fashion, given the fact that, you know, Solo Sikoa had a bit of surprise waiting for LA Knight, bringing out former NJPW star Tama Tonga. That was a surprise to many. We're going to have to follow up with that on Friday night for sure, folks, because I really don't know what the future holds for the Bloodline. Now that Tama Tonga, is he even a member? Like, we're not entirely sure what's going on. We're going to, like I said, we got more questions than answers at this point, but we're going to have to find out, and you guys will all have to find out with me from Friday night's episode of SmackDown. And now LA Knight awaiting the arrival of his opponent here tonight, Andrade, another man that has recently been drafted to Raw, although he just recently made his return to WWE on Friday Night SmackDown in a Battle Royal for the Intercontinental Championship, #1 contenders. Unfortunately, Andrade would come up short on there, but now he has a tremendous opportunity going, you know, straight to the source, basically. He's in there with the Intercontinental Champion. Imagine if Andrade is to get the win here tonight against LA Knight. What would that do for Andrade's stock? You'd have to believe that Andrade would be due an Intercontinental title match in the near future if that is to happen. But he's going to have his work cut out for him, because the megastar has been on an all-time high, riding not even a wave of momentum, a tsunami of momentum since winning that Intercontinental title off Adam Cole back in what would have been February at the Elimination Chamber, defending that title in an explosive car crash of a 6-man ladder match at WrestleMania, and then, of course, his most recent defense against the Bloodline's enforcer, Solo Sikoa in Puerto Rico. And now he has a tremendous challenge ahead of him as Andrade awaits the Intercontinental Champion in the ring. LA Knight taking Andrade to the ropes. And now look at this. Already strength on display, giving the Monday Night Raw crowd what they came to see, and that is the IC champion himself. But, you know, with that being said, with LA Knight being on a new show, new faces are going to come his way. He still has a huge target on his back. If you have a championship around your waist, you have a target on your back. I don't care what you say. Just like Randy Orton better look out for all the new competition on Monday nights. Cody Rhodes, by the way, is redrafted to Monday nights. During the draft, he got drafted back to Monday Night Raw. In fact, he is in the main event against a debuting Japanese phenom himself, former NXT North American champion Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita was looking for the best of the best to debut against. He got in the face of Ricochet a few weeks ago, actually helping Nakamura secure a victory over the highlight of the night. But Takeshita would settle for nothing but the best, and he's going to get the best in the American Nightmare, the former WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes, with his first night back on Monday nights in almost 8 months. And now look at this, Andrade off the ropes. My goodness gracious. Springboard dropkick right to the face of the megastar. And now the IC champ is reeling a little bit as Andrade starting to get that push of momentum, that boost of energy that LA Knight doesn't want Andrade to get. He's a very explosive individual in that ring and hits you with a plethora of moves. And you're going to see all of them as now look at this. What the hell? Oh my God! DDT just spiked the man right on his head. Andrade in full control, folks. LA Knight is in a bad predicament right now as finally gets his hands up, finally chops to the chest, but Andrade, man, he's put on some weight, he's put on some meat since the last time we've seen Andrade. He's stacked, brother, that's for sure. As now LA Knight goes to the top rope. Not very likely for him to do that, but a double axe handle from LA Knight. Andrade kicks at one. Man, I'm very excited for this new season of Universe Mode with this new draft. LA Knight getting out of harm's way. These new drafted superstars, you know, there was a huge shakeup in the draft. That being stars like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins being sent back to SmackDown when he could have won against Randy Orton in Puerto Rico and took that WWE Undisputed Championship to SmackDown along with Gunther, who retained his World Heavyweight Championship against Bobby Lashley, who's coming to Monday nights. Lashley's going to be in action next week, folks. Lashley had to take the night off after a brutal matchup against Bobby Lashley against Gunther. Y'all didn't see Backlash Part 2 or Backlash Part 1 for that matter. Y'all need to run that back because that was one hell of a show. Now look at this. Andrade perhaps was going for that arm trap DDT that we remember Andrade using back in his NXT days, back when he was on the main roster for a little bit. LA Knight clearly doing his homework on Andrade, even though there has been little footage of Andrade and WWE in the last 3 years. And now LA Knight off the rope. Oh my God, Gis got wiped out with a boot to the face. Andrade clearly doing his homework as well. You know, like LA Knight, he's not the youngest of competitors in that ring, but his speed, his athleticism is what sets him apart. It's what's made him the Intercontinental Champion, and Andrade was ready for that speed. But wait a minute, he might not be ready for this huge neck breaker, torture rack neck breaker from the megastar. Andrade looks a little dazed right now. If you look at eyes in his face, you see nothing there. And now LA Knight. Wait a minute. Man, you could see the Monday Night Raw crowd just getting in the, oh my goodness, but the megastar elbow drop fails to land. Now Andrade off the ropes, but went to the well too many times, as LA Knight now perfectly has that move scouted. And now wait a minute, we saw Andrade drop LA Knight on his neck on the apron earlier. We're about to see a little bit of a receipt as he just back suplexes him right on the apron. Man, LA Knight has a very ugly side to him when he wants to be. I mean, he's a crowd favorite, no doubt about it. But LA Knight, he can get down and dirty with the rest of them. We saw him have to try and tap into that with Solo Sikoa in Puerto Rico. As now, I think it was going for a neck breaker, but Andrade stopped him dead in his tracks. And oh my God, what an elbow to the face. Knight's out, man. Knight, his eyes are glazed over. He might be out here, but Andrade fails to attempt a cover. He's going to go for something instead. Frog splash, nobody home. And now it's LA Knight once again trying to get back into this thing. Andrade has proven to be one hell of a competitor. Oh man. I think LA Knight just busted open Andrade, as a matter of fact. Yeah, blood spewing from his forehead, but look at the power. What the hell was that? I thought he was going for a pop-up power slam, and then he just dropped some fall-away style. Pop-up, fall-away power slam is the best that I could really come up with, folks. And now LA Knight trying to get back in this thing, as I said time and time again, just throwing haymakers, throwing chops Andrade's way. And this time, oh, I thought he went to the well too many times, but LA Knight getting caught by that drop kick once again. Count of two, LA Knight has to kick at two. Now, this would be huge for LA Knight to lose this match after coming off a big win against Solo Sikoa. Oh, my God. Springboard corkscrew crossbody from Andrade El Idolo. They did not call him the Idol for no reason. This is one man that you need to look up to. And now, wait a minute. LA Knight could be in a bad way. Wait a minute. Andrade now turning him around. That arm trap DDT hits flush. Could he pin the Intercontinental Champion? No, LA Knight kicks it too. Andrade cannot believe it. He just hit LA Knight with quite possibly his best move in his arsenal, and LA Knight just ate that like some chicken. And now wait a minute, LA Knight, air raid siren crash. And now LA Knight says he's got to give the crowd what they want, and this is what they want to see is the Megastar elbow drop. Going for the cover. Ah, Andrade kicks it too. And man, LA Knight just pacing back and forth. What the hell is he thinking here? You gotta be kidding me. LA Knight just suckered us in. I thought he was gonna go sky high for a second. I don't think I've ever seen LA Knight take to the skies, but I've seen him deliver a beautiful drop kick, which is what the front audience just saw as well. Is now Knight throwing Andrade back into the ring. And now is Knight controlling the pace of this match moving forward. Andrade bloodied, bruised, and battered at the hands of the Intercontinental Champion. Looking to get Andrade up on the top rope, and we've seen this back at Backlash, but LA Knight decides not to display the athleticism this time, but that might have cost him because Andrade had time to prepare for it. Just drops LA Knight right where he stands. And wait a minute. Oh my God, what the hell was that? An arm trap face buster, almost like a variation of the DDT that we see Andrade hit. And another air raid siren though. LA Knight luckily able to get back into this thing. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like what Andrade just did. And now wait a minute. Off the top rope with the super Megastar elbow drop to put Andrade away. No, he kicks it too. Andrade kicks it too. LA Knight, seemingly a little bit of frustration, falling over the face of the Megastar. Andrade has proven to be one hell of a competitor here tonight against the Intercontinental Champion, furthering his argument that he should be next in line for Intercontinental Championship opportunity. But Knight says you're going to take this superplex here tonight. And wait a minute, superplex off the top rope, both men worse for wear. LA Knight trying to fight through the pain. Andrade could be seeing stars for a second, but wait, no, LA Knight turns it around on him. Beautiful Olympic style slam. And now, oh my God, kick right to the thigh. Right to the thigh is now both men clearly exhaustion settling in at this point in the match. Wait a minute, LA Knight though, strength still full on display with the burning hammer. Andrade just rolled out of the ring wisely though. But wait a minute, he got caught into blunt force trauma. Out of nowhere, the Intercontinental Champion fending off Andrade Cien Almas. Oh, wait a minute. Look behind you, LA Knight, a man that has been riding another full wave of momentum here on Monday nights as of late. Main event, Jey Uso getting in the face of the Intercontinental Champion. What does that mean? Not only for Jey Uso, not only for LA Knight, but hell, we got Intercontinental Championship match to make at Night of Champions. Is that the match that we will be seeing? Time will tell, but ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is a highly, highly anticipated debut of the badass Bron Breakker, but he is going to have a very tough night of a debut because he is taking on a returning Celtic warrior, Sheamus, and Sheamus has been on record saying that he's not coming back just to come back this time. He is coming back for everything that he has not accomplished in WWE. Throughout his tenuous career, throughout his, I want to say, 12 to 15 year plus career in WWE now, there are still a few things that Sheamus has yet to accomplish. Being the Intercontinental Champion is one of those things. LA Knight is the Intercontinental Champion. It's a very interesting story that I'm sure will be developing in the coming months, but it looks like Jey Uso has called first dibs at the Megastar. Only question is that the match we see at Night of Champions? Main event, Jey Uso the megastar LA Knight. Is it going down at Night of Champions? I guess, like I said, time will tell as time will tell everything. But one thing that time does not tell is the unlimited potential of this man right here, Bron Breakker, a former 3-time NXT champion. Bron Breakker, like I said before, time and time again, has bled. He's sweated NXT. He was essentially the leading man. He was essentially Mr. NXT at one point, you know, carrying that company on his back during like the dark ages of NXT 2.0, for example, you know, Nickelodeon style, if you want. Bron Breakker still gave that show a sense of, you know, sincerity, a sense of seriousness, a sense of like, you know, this isn't just like some teen drama that, you know, that Vince McMahon wanted to play around with. This was still at Bron Breakker's doghouse. But now the dog is loose. The only bad part is he's in a yard with a bunch of different older, more experienced, more vicious dogs this time around, man. He might as well be in the dog pound. Bron Breakker, the badass, is here on Monday Night Raw, getting drafted to Monday Night Raw, along with names like the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov, but wait a minute, and Konosuke Takeshita, but Bron Breakker already strength on display. Just how many times do you see Sheamus get lifted off the ground like that, and Bron Breakker again ducking an attempt at the Celtic Warrior, and now Breakker trying to send Sheamus into the corner, but Sheamus does it for him. My goodness, huge splash, and I don't think you're going to see a lot of collar and elbow tie-ups. These are two men that love to brawl here. Bron Breakker being that, you know, that new superstar that's trying to make a name for himself off of a seasoned veteran. Sheamus clearly not taking too much respect to being called a seasoned veteran just yet. He wants to show that he can hang with these kids. He can hang with the next generation just as he can hang with the older generation. As now Bron Breakker getting out of harm's way there with an enziguri to the back of the neck of Sheamus. And oh my goodness, elbow straight to the jaw of Breakker. Went for a chop, but nothing hitting there. Now Breakker lighting up the Celtic Warrior, man. This is an absolute fight, just as I expected it to be. Bron Breakker has a point to prove in... Oh, I thought he was going for a sidewalk slam, but Sheamus dropped him with a knee to the face, and now it's Sheamus trying to get Breakker up, but Breakker reversing out of harm's way as well that time. Clearly, these two have done their homework on one another as well. As now look at this. Power on full display. Falcon Arrow from Bron Breakker. Doing the deal here tonight is the badass. And now the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, feels the momentum kind of shifting to Bron Breakker's way, finding himself in a almost an unfamiliar predicament. You kind of being outmatched, outpowered, if you will, by the much younger athlete. And now wait a minute, just as I said that, Sheamus grabs Bron Breakker out of nowhere. Oh, with those signature triple, oh my God, knees to the back. And just like that, man, Sheamus can turn that match around, but Breakker kicks at 1, not 2, not 1.5, a complete 1. And now Sheamus says he's trying to call for the match's end, man. He doesn't want to be in the ring any longer with this absolute monster of a man in Bron Breakker. And now wait a minute. Oh my God, a huge European uppercut to Sheamus, not from Sheamus. And now Breakker goes off the rope. Oh my God, but he gets met with a knee for his troubles. And now, oh, focusing on the knee of Sheamus. Went for the, oh, I think he went for the bro kick, but no water in the pool. Breakker, like I said, having Sheamus scouted out is going to be his advantage in this match, no doubt about it. And now elbow straight to the face. And now you get to see a little bit of athleticism from Bron Breakker as he hits a picture-perfect standing moonsault. Sheamus has to kick at 1 now this time. Man, we have seen some incredible action from all these new faces on Monday nights tonight, folks. Andrade giving LA Knight a run for his money. Even though LA Knight was able to get the victory at the end of the day, now Bron Breakker trying to show up a former world champion in this company, and that being Sheamus. And now, wait a minute, Bron Breakker over the top rope! Tope con hilo from the son of the dog-faced gremlin himself, Rick Steiner. And just as I said at the beginning of this match, man, the dog is unleashed on Monday nights, but he's in a much bigger yard now with a lot more hungrier dogs. And now, wait a minute! Oh, did you just see that? He just deadlifted Sheamus. Let me remind you, Sheamus is every bit of 295. Bron Breakker's insane as he flies through the air. Another 2 count Sheamus has to kick. When have you seen Sheamus get manhandled? Look at this. What the hell? When have you ever seen Sheamus get manhandled like this? He's just deadlifting Sheamus off the ground. Absolutely unheard of. And now, wait a minute. Oh! Whoo! I think Sheamus saw his life flash before his eyes because that spear was heading straight towards his way. Luckily, he got the knee right to the face of Breakker. That could have ended very badly for the Celtic Warrior. We've seen Breakker quite literally break people in half at the hands of that spear. Of course, has a football background, does Bron Breakker, and he loves to utilize that in his matches. Oh my goodness, just powering straight through Sheamus. Again, every bit of 295 is Sheamus. He's just getting manhandled right now at the hands of Bron Breakker. And now, wait a minute, what the hell does Breakker have in store for the Celtic? What the hell? No! Fall away! Power slam from the top rope. Sheamus kicked that one? Sheamus kicked that one. Something that you barely ever see in wrestling in general that Bron Breakker just did, especially with a man that's 295, might I add. Just kicked out at one, and now another knee straight to the face of Bron Breakker. What the hell did Breakker just do, man? I've never in my life have seen something like that be delivered to Sheamus. I've been watching Sheamus ever since I was a kid! Spear out of nowhere! Spear out of nowhere is going to put the Celtic Warrior away to cement Breakker's leg. No! Sheamus gets the shoulder out at 2. This is exhilarating, folks. If this is what every Monday night looks like from here on out because of Bron Breakker's addition to the show, you could count me in. Just jabs Breakker right in the face with an elbow, sharp elbow to the jaw. Now, oh my goodness, rolling hills from Sheamus. Yeah, he's ready to call it a night. Breakker is, like I said, he's got a untapped potential. He's got an unlimited battery source, does this Bron Breakker. Oh my goodness, and now smashing the knee again, and now here comes Bron Breakker back into this thing just when Sheamus thought he had a shred of a momentum. Bron Breakker, the ultimate energizer, the human energizer bunny, if you will. This man seems to never run out of steam in that ring. And now, wait a minute, Sheamus able to counteract Bron Breakker and send him shoulder first into the barricade. And now this match spills out to the outside. I don't think that portion of the match is needed. These two were beating the ever-living hell out of each other in the inside of the ring. And now, wait a minute, Breakker throwing fists with the best of them. The Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, has been brawling ever since he was a teenager, man. And for him to be outshined in the brawling portion of the match by Bron Breakker says a whole hell of a lot. Sheamus is hurt, man. Like I said, he's not getting any younger, and Bron Breakker is still extremely young. And now, wait a minute. No, Bron Breakker's going to make Sheamus pay for accepting this match with the badass himself. He's got him in a Boston Crab. Sheamus grabs the leg, though, enough to shift Breakker's momentum, and now kicking away Bron Breakker. Like, literally, Bron Breakker just keeps coming back, man. He's like a pack of wolves all on his own. And now Sheamus just trying to sort this man out, just trying to figure out what he can do to benefit from this match, what he can do to put away Bron Breakker once and for all. But I do not think Bron Breakker came to WWE to lose, man. That's one thing about Bron Breakker. And now, oh my goodness, both men kind of trading off blows now, as now Sheamus sends Breakker into the turnbuckle. Shots directly to the face. Just as we scheduled this match, folks, I never thought that it was going to be pretty. I don't know if I expected it to get this ugly, though. These two men are beating the hell out of one another. Oh, a shot right to the ribs. Could knock the air out of your lungs. Now Sheamus. Oh my goodness, huge choke bomb from the Celtic Warrior. Man, the crowd, you damn right they're entertained after seeing this. Bron Breakker and Sheamus laying it all on the line and on Monday Night Raw. Now Breakker looks to cower away to the corners. Now Sheamus looks to be, oh, I was going to say, he looks to be in full control finally. But, oh, just when I say that, Bron Breakker getting the momentum back in his favor. And now looking to send Sheamus to the ropes, but Sheamus had other plans in mind. And now, wait a minute, Bron Breakker choking out Sheamus. My goodness gracious, just sent him neck first into those ropes. And I know those ropes might look comfortable on TV, folks, but believe me, they are not. I have actually felt those before. Oh my God. Tilt-a-whirl power slam. The hell? Bro, he's in there with Sheamus, not a cruiserweight. The Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, former world champion Sheamus. Powerhouse Sheamus just got leveled by a military press power slam. Not enough to get the job done. Sheamus hangs in there. Bron Breakker cannot believe that Sheamus is still in this thing. But here he is. And now a shot right to the face. Sheamus clearly does not want to find himself on the top rope anymore, man. The last thing that Bron Breakker did to him on the top rope did not end very well. Another choke bomb to Bron Breakker to put the kid away. Breakker kicks it 2.5. Man, the fact that Bron Breakker is hanging in there with the Celtic Warrior should show you all you really need to know about Breakker. Sheamus is probably one of the toughest individuals to get in the ring with. I mean, he will quite literally beat the piss out of you if you are not prepared for what is coming your way. As now, look at this. Oh, Breakker froze for a moment. That gave Sheamus the opportunity that he needed. And now, once again, sending him right down on the knee is the Celtic Warrior. And now Bron Breakker is starting to feel the pain of the Celtic Warrior after quite possibly dishing out the most pain in this match. And now look at this, still at the later stages of his career and later stages of this match, performing feats of strength out of this world. Deadlift power slam to Bron Breakker is now, wait a minute, oh my goodness, shoulder again directly into the left shoulder of Sheamus. And now once again Breakker is going for something here, man. He wants to hit something. And it looks like he's got different plans in mind. My God, Frankensteiner off the top rope. Frankensteiner off the top rope. Gets Sheamus up one more time for a military press power slam. And there's no way in hell Sheamus kicks out of two of them. Bron Breakker puts away, even though he doesn't like to be called a very seasoned veteran in this business, a man that has done everything besides win the Intercontinental Championship, Sheamus, in his debut on Monday nights. This is going to be a man that you do not want to be messing around with, not only in the locker room, but in the ring. Bron Breakker getting an impressive victory over the Celtic Warrior. And the question remaining is, can Konosuke Takeshita do the same? As I mentioned at the start of the show, folks, Takeshita given the limelight here tonight because he is in the ring with the returning Raw superstar Cody Rhodes in his debut on the main roster. You cannot really get much bigger than that, folks. Takeshita, like I said, given the limelight here tonight. Cody Rhodes, pretty much, this is almost like a must-win for Cody Rhodes. He does not want to fall to Takeshita. He doesn't want to fall and like be a stepping stone in a way of a debuting superstar. A man that has a ton of buzz around him right now after being the last North American champion in NXT, probably the most dominant North American champion in NXT as a matter of fact. the way that Takeshita went about business in NXT, just completely brutalizing his opponents in that ring. But like I said, this is Rhodes needs to rally here. He needs to get back up on his feet. He needs to, climb that mountain again. Rhodes kind of fell right back down the mountain once again after being defeated by the ring general Gunther at WrestleMania. And at that point, it seemed like Cody had finally, before that match, it seemed like Cody Rhodes had finally, gotten back up on that pedestal, gotten back up on the mountain, only to get chopped, kicked, and powerbombed right back down it, as now Rhodes almost pretty much starting from scratch again on Monday Night Raw. This is a completely different, almost otherworldly chapter in the book of Cody Rhodes. And like I said, there are so many, demons in the back of his mind, of Cody's mind, that being returning back here to Monday Night Raw. It's still with Randy Orton on the roster. Luckily, Karrion Kross is not on the roster. Kross actually got drafted to SmackDown. So I guess that's one demon, a very intimidating, very imposing demon that Rhodes will not have to worry about on Monday nights. But as I said, as old demons disappear, new demons start to take form. And I mean, look at the mask right there. If that doesn't tell you what kind of individual you're dealing with, I don't know what does. Takeshita, man, like I said, if a lot of you are wondering why I have him in universe mode, why Takeshita is a part of the main roster, I hope I answer all those questions after this match, folks. Takeshita is a different type of competitor. He's a different kind of athlete. This is a man that has held victories over Kenny Omega in the past. He's gone toe-to-toe with the best of them. Will Ospreay, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, to just name a few, the current World Tag Team Champions here on Monday Night Raw. Takeshita is that guy, man. He's that next generation competitor that can really take it up a notch, just like a Bron Breakker, just like a Carmelo Hayes, just like a Ilya Dragunov. And we're going to see what he's about right here, right now, against the American Nightmare. Both men feeling each other out. You could feel the excitement as Takeshita went straight for the ribs of Cody Rhodes. And now Rhodes firing shots at Takeshita. But Rhodes is ready for everything, man. You best believe he did his scouting of Takeshita. He probably had to watch a lot of Japan footage to do so. But he is ready for this challenge, as now he smacks Takeshita right in the chest. The WWE Undisputed Champion, as we mentioned before, Randy Orton, a man that Cody knows all too well in this universe mode. Not here tonight. I'm told he actually suffered a broken nose at the hands of Seth Rollins. He's probably getting that, repaired as we speak. But Randy Orton, man, withstood 3 separate stomps, a broken nose, intentional targeting of the face and the nose from Seth Rollins to retain his championship in that absolute war of a no-holds-barred match in Puerto Rico. Sent Rollins packing to Friday nights, and Orton remains on Monday nights. And now Cody Rhodes, the double axe handle to the back of Takeshita. Man, Rhodes is gonna, give Takeshita the most humbling of welcomes that he possibly can, while also letting Takeshita know, that Rhodes has no intentions of waiting in line. But oh my goodness, he just got hit with a huge sharp elbow to the face. And now wait a minute, Takeshita, look at the power on display. Deadlift German suplex, dropping Rhodes right on the crown of his neck. And now Takeshita focusing on the arm of Rhodes. Huge chops to the chest, doing its wear and tear on the body of the American Nightmare. As now, wait a minute, Takeshita grabs his legs and just slams him right on the mat with an alley-oop bomb. And now Rhodes kind of struggling to get to his feet as Takeshita puts a beat down on the returning Raw superstar. And now again a German suplex. Those are getting uncomfortable to watch, the way that Takeshita just pinpoint accuracy drops you right on your neck. And now wait a minute. Oh my God, more damage to the neck. More damage to the neck of the American Nightmare. What the hell? Over the top rope. Takeshita letting Bron Breakker know to eat his heart out, because Takeshita just won up the badass himself. With that maneuver right there, Takeshita, a much taller athlete than Bron Breakker, and still able to get just as much height and momentum on that tope con hilo. As you're seeing a full execution of Cody Rhodes right now, folks, man. He's targeted the neck, the arm, and the knee, making it hard to hit pretty much any move that Cody Rhodes has in his arsenal. Takeshita, like I said, he's a very skilled competitor, but Rhodes finally starting to try and get this thing back in his favor. A huge bulldog on the outside might be the shift of momentum that Rhodes needed, as now he sends Takeshita back into the ring. And now wait a minute, off the ropes, huge single leg drop kick from Cody Rhodes now. Takeshita's down and out. Only gets a 1 count. Only gets a 1 count, as now Takeshita is the one reeling here as the American Nightmare starts to get in his bag a little bit. And now wait a minute, off the ropes. Definitely interesting offense from Cody Rhodes there, just kind of throwing his entire body weight at Takeshita. Gives him a 2 count though. Takeshita now getting to the outside, trying to find his wherewithal. And now wait a minute, Cody Rhodes outside of the ring for the spring, or the suicide dive. I was gonna say springboard crossbody for some reason, but now Rhodes sending Takeshita face first into the barricade, and there's always a tribute to his dad, Dusty, of course. Rhodes finally starting to feel that momentum shift, finally starting to feel the energy from this crowd that have been without Cody Rhodes for, like I said, almost a year now. Rhodes finally returning to Monday nights, probably not by choice, or maybe it is. Maybe he wants to settle those old demons once and for all. Remember, if he builds himself back up that ladder, he builds himself back up the mountain, he will find himself back in the ring with the very man that sent him tumbling down the mountain in the first place, Randy Orton, because as of right now, Orton is still the WWE Undisputed Champion. And our Rhodes, oh, I thought he had the boot, but Takeshita gave him the other side of the boot. And now look at this, deadlift package powerbomb by Takeshita. Rhodes again trying to get outside the ring, but Takeshita is just unrelentless in his attack. A springboard forearm right to the face of the American Nightmare. And look, Takeshita recognizes the challenge he has ahead of him. He recognizes that Cody Rhodes is a former world champion in this company, and that's exactly the kind of competition that Takeshita wants. He wants former world champions to, make a name off of. As now Rhodes breaking the count, elbow right to the face. As I said before, folks, this has been an incredible night of action. Takeshita just sent Rhodes back first into the barricade. Might be a lot of damage done to the back, but Takeshita again throwing caution to the wind for the second time, and actually a third time in this match. I mean, like I said, for a man his size and his height to be throwing around like here. But wait a minute, Rhodes caught him. Rhodes caught him with a crossroads on the floor. Absolutely out of nowhere. Takeshita might have just sealed his fate and made a cruel, cruel mistake on his first night on the main roster, as Rhodes calling it an end here. Takeshita kicks that one. Rhodes a little bit of taken aback. You could see him kind of like muttering to himself, what the hell have I got myself into? Takeshita kicked that one of a crossroads, not even inside the ring, outside on the unforgiving floor, again covering by a very thin layer of padding, but Rhodes starting to try and build back up here. Wait a minute, he didn't get all of it though, but he definitely stunned the big man He stunned the big man enough, and now Rhodes trying to get back into this thing. Is now, wait a minute. Roll-up attempt from the American Nightmare. Takeshita again kicks at one. But Takeshita turning Rhodes inside out now. Oh my God. That was probably the most brutal of them all. Directly on the neck that time with that German suplex, and now a knee straight to the face of Cody Rhodes. A move Takeshita has had so much success with in the past, not able to get the job done, as Cody is trying to still hang in this thing. Justified fight forever chants in the crowd, as these two men intend to do just that with each other. And now Rhodes hanging Takeshita out to dry. As now, what the hell has Cody Rhodes got planned here? Oh my God. No water in the pool. Nothing to be found as Takeshita gets out of harm's way after Cody Rhodes the attempted diving moonsault, and now face first into the ring apron. Takeshita has had a cold and calculated assault on Cody Rhodes here tonight, man. As now Cody sending Takeshita off the ropes. You can feel that momentum hopefully starting to shift in Rhodes' favor. Once again, big power slam to the big man. Gets a 2 count. Takeshita kicks at 2 again. And now Rhodes sending Takeshita into the turnbuckle. The hell has Cody got planned here? Takeshita getting off that prone position. And now wait a minute, oh my God, off the third rope. Springboard forearm to the face of Cody Rhodes now. And now Takeshita thought he was lining up for something there, but Rhodes was, I guess, able to get out of harm's way again. And now off the ropes goes Cody Rhodes with a beautiful disaster kick. And now it's Rhodes. Wait a minute. Now he goes third rope with Takeshita, having it scouted once again. And now wait a minute. Cody Rhodes, what's he got planned here? Face first goes Takeshita. Rhodes is just trying to, trying to keep this man down, trying to do everything in his power to put the Japanese Phenom away. But you do not get a name like that. You don't get a name like the Alpha without beating Kenny Omega. You don't get a name like Japanese Phenom without earning it and finding this mystique about yourself and this aura. A man that walks in the room and everybody stares and kind of, quivers in a way. But Rhodes refuses to be intimidated here tonight, man. Like I said, he's on a mission to get back everything he lost. And if he has to go through competitors like Takeshita to do so, then so be it. As now, look at this. Cody Rhodes, pedigree to Takeshita. But that right there, Cody failing to make the cover right away might be a detriment. As now, Takeshita gets that shoulder, and you trust me, it was that pause that has kept this match about. As now again Rhodes, the final cut, tribute to his brother. We've seen tributes to Dusty and Dustin in this match. Takeshita gets the shoulder out again. Rhodes started to look at the referee like, what the hell do I got to do to put this man away? Believe me, the referee is just as confused as you are, Cody. And now Takeshita. Oh no, what the hell is Takeshita got planned? But Rhodes slips out. Oh, a shot to the knee. Shot to the knee of Takeshita. And that might be an opening that Rhodes just realized. One thing that he has not tried is to submit this man, and now he's got him in a figure 4 leg lock after a shot to the knee. Takeshita writhing in agony here as Cody Rhodes. Could he submit the Japanese Phenom in his debut on Monday Night Raw? But, oh my God, shots to Cody's own leg and shots to the face. And now Takeshita once again going for it. No water in the pool. No water in the pool. And now Cody Rhodes gets him off the top rope. And now, wait a minute, Rhodes. Oh no, Takeshita suckered him in. Takeshita suckering the American Nightmare in. Trying to go for another suicide dive, but Rhodes gets back in the ring. Rhodes refuses to be. Again, a jumping knee right to the face. Rhodes has refused to be upstaged by Takeshita here tonight. He gets the shoulder again. Rhodes, man, I don't know how the hell he's still in this thing. He's been thrown with everything in Takeshita's arsenal. But wait a minute. Oh no, both these men fighting each other. Oh, and third jumping knee right to the face. Could be enough, but no, Cody gets the shoulder at one. Cody gets the shoulder at one, and now wait a minute. Grabs a hold of the arms. Grabs a hold of the arms. You can hear the crowd just rattling the building. Rhodes just hit him with a Tiger Driver 98. Cody Rhodes has pinned the Japanese Phenom after kicking out at one from a third knee strike to the jaw. Cody Rhodes has weathered an incredible, look at this, that's the second knee strike, that's the third knee strike. Cody Rhodes digging deep into his bag here tonight, pulling out a Tiger Driver 98, a move that is banned in some countries because of career-threatening injuries that have been done or that have occurred because of a move like that. Is that the coup de grace? Is that the move in Cody's arsenal that will bring him back to the top? Time will tell, folks. Cody Rhodes, on his first night back on Monday Night Raw in almost a year, getting the job done. And that will have to close our show, folks. Next week, our women's tag team title tournament, in a way, kind of continues with 3 more teams in action. Bobby Lashley will be in action and more to come. But until then, until Friday Night SmackDown, I should say, I will see y'all on the next one.